Hey everyone, this is Michael. I just want to show you how to quickly navigate through the course if you haven't really started doing that already. So, right in front of you here, you see the welcome page for the pharmacology course. Um, you can see, if I click here where it says announcements, you probably want to check that. Every couple days, I would just check on announcements. You can see there are two announcements in there. One just talks about week 2, and one talks about you advanced placement learners, those of you who are in level 2. So check those out. If you click down to grades, you can see your grades listed. You can see the courses that the quizzes that you have, and you can see your grade listed. Let's go back up to home here. You can click here on the instructor welcome. You can see information about me, a course overview, lots of technical resources. If you click on here, the library, Nightingale Tech Support, proctoring service is something about Office 365. And then we click here on policies. It takes us to links to several different policies here at Nightingale. All right. So when we get into the meat of the course and how you move through it, let's just scroll down a little bit. On the first page here, you can see the basic course description, concepts, course outcomes. And you click here, let's click on where it says weekly assignments. So I'm just going to open it up in a new tab here and look at it this way. So we'll see that you have your assignments listed for weeks 1 through 16. Let's click on week 2 because that's what you're looking at, what we're in right now. We can see these buttons up at the top. The blue buttons on each side take us to the last week or the next week. We can see the calendar. This light blue button in the center takes us to the weekly assignments. So we can click on that again and it takes us to the weekly assignments. We can click on the green button here. It takes us back to the home page. Okay. So when we look at week 2 here, we'll see at the very top, you'll see the just a quick overview of the activities you need to do in week 2. A basic paragraph about what this week is to be about. Come down here and you'll take the pretest. So we come here, click on that, take the pretest. Okay, you click on take the quiz and it takes you through. You can see that there's no time limit for it. There are 8 questions. You can have multiple attempts with it. After you take the pretest, it'll give you your results. It'll tell you which answers you got, which questions you got right, which ones you got wrong. It'll give you the correct answers. I would just take the pretest always at the beginning before you start. It gives you sort of an idea about what the week will be about. Might give you some concepts and ideas to look out for as you go through the reading. So after you take the pretest, then you'll come and go into the textbook and do the reading in the textbook. It tells us right here that you need to read pages 2 through 58. So you're going to go to the textbook. It will take you to bookshelf here. Oops, let's see. I'm going to have to sign in here for some reason. It's asking me to do that. Give me 1 second here. And here we are at the book. So then let's just come into Unit 1. You can see it's pages 1 through, I forgot where, the 57, I believe it is. So let's start with Chapter 1. The first thing I would always look at is there's always learning outcomes that are listed at the start of the chapter. Always, always look at the learning outcomes, read them, print them out, have them next to you as you're reading through the chapter. These are concepts that you really want to look for. For instance, where it talks about therapeutic and pharmacological classes, I'm pretty sure you're going to encounter that again. So you can pretty much assume that when these things that are listed in the learning outcomes are things you really want to make sure you know as you move through the chapter. So pay attention to those things, okay? So you've done the reading for each of them. Then you're going to come down here, and the next thing you do is this check your understanding quiz here. I think the first ones are called Remember. Again, there's no time limit on these. You can take them multiple times. It's not graded. You go and take the quiz. It'll give you your score afterwards and tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. Okay. After you've taken that, remember, check your understanding quiz. You can come down to the review section here and just go through these 4 review pages. Each of those are 1 to 2 pages long. They're just a different PDF form that you just open up, take a look at them. You can print them out if you want. It just basically gives you an overview of what you've read in the chapters, just helps solidify the information that you've read so far. Then you can take the next one, the second next check your understanding. It's called apply. Again, you take the quiz, no time limit, no limit on the number of times you can take it. Okay, so these first ones, the pre-test, the check your understanding, and these 2 check your, they're not graded, so they're not part of your final grade. Okay, now when you come to the post-test, this one is graded. It is part of your grade. So after you have done the reading, done these quizzes, done the review, then you can take the post-test. The post-test is not going to be open to you until you've completed these other items. Okay. Once you come and take the post-test, that one you only have 2 attempts to do it. After you take it the first time, I have set it so that you can see the questions that you got wrong. You don't see the correct answers, but you do see the ones you got wrong. So after you've taken the first time, look at the answers that you've gotten wrong. Look at the questions, the questions that you didn't answer correctly. Go back into the material and figure out why you didn't get those questions right? Once you have a good idea about that, if you're having a hard time doing that, then let me know. I can help you with that, okay? But after you feel ready to take the post-test a second time, go ahead and take it a second time, okay? If you don't pass it with 80%, you need to let me know, okay? And then you're going to have to do a remediation. Typically, the remediation probably it's certainly not something extensive. What I'm just going to do is help you understand the areas that you need to focus on. We're going to look at the questions that you got wrong, help you understand the areas that you need to focus on to improve your knowledge of that subject. Okay, all right. In the first, I believe it's the first 6 weeks, you also have MDC, what's called MDC here, medical dosage calculation in Elsevier or Evolve. It's another resource where you're going to go in, complete the modules, and take the quizzes in there. Okay, so you only have 2 resources. You have the Pearson textbook, and you have these Elsevier modules that are in the first 6 weeks. Okay, so you're going to just start from top to bottom. The first module, you're going to read the Principles of Pharmacology module. You're just going to go through, and this is asking me to do that. That's okay. Let's do that. I think perhaps it's because I have it as a student view going here. So let's see. Let me leave the student view and see if it works. Okay, so let's open that up there. Yeah, so it just it's going to take you to one little module you have to do. That's it. You're going to come to the basic math review, open that up, and gives you these modules you just go through the top to bottom. So this has 5 lessons that you have to do. Each page, it's pretty short. It's not as if each of these pages can be as small as that. They're just a few sentences typically on each one you do. Some of them have exercises or activities you do. I would definitely suggest you do them with math. Practice makes perfect. Especially when you get to these practice problems. Do these practice problems. Make sure you do them. You are much more likely to understand the material if you do that. Okay, so let's go back to this. Once you've done the basic math review, you come and you take the quiz, just like the other quizzes. For yours, it won't say preview. It'll show you the ones that you got incorrect. Okay, now these MDCE quizzes are just like the post-test. They are graded, and you do need to pass these. Now, you need to pass these with 100%. That's pretty standard for all math calculation quizzes or tests in nursing programs. So you want to do the same thing. Take it the first time. If look at the questions you did not get correct, figure out why you didn't get them correct. Go back into the material, figure out why you got them wrong. Again, if you're having a hard time understanding that, just reach out to me. I can definitely help you figure that out, right? And if when you take the second attempt, if you don't pass it on the second attempt, then you need to let me know. If you don't pass it with 100% on the second attempt, then you need to let me know. And then I can get you a little remediation in place so that you can pass these with 100%. All of these MDCE quizzes need to be passed with 100% before you go to clinical. Okay? And then the last thing for each week is the discussion question. Okay, so it might have been different in some of the other courses, but in this course, in the first week, you only post your initial response to the discussion scenario. Okay, and the following week you reply to your classmates. There are a total of 5 discussion questions, so there are a total of 10 weeks in this term that you will be working on discussion questions. And then when you're finished with week 2, you just click next week and go on to the next week. Again, one of the things you want to remember is the post-test has to be passed with an 80% or more. The MDC, the medical dosage calculation quizzes, have to be passed with 100%, at least by your second attempt. Again, if you don't pass the post-test with 80%, you need to let me know. If you don't pass the MDC quizzes with 100% by the second time, you need to let me know. All right. Always reach out to me, you guys, if you have any questions. If we go back to the home page here, you can see in the instructor welcome, you can see my contact. We just don't have my picture in here yet. I'm going to try and get that in. Here's a phone number for me. You are welcome to always call me at that number if you want to reach me. I may be able to answer it. I may not be able to answer it, but you are welcome to call me anytime. I mean, within reason, obviously, within my office hours. If you click down here, it'll take you to my office hours. Come on. Yeah, here are my office hours. I have also something called open office hours. The only thing that means is I don't schedule any other meetings or anything during those times to take phone calls. But you are certainly welcome to call me during any of my office hours. I just can't guarantee that I'll be able to answer during those times, but you are certainly welcome to call me, and I will answer it if I'm able to. The only thing that would keep me from answering it if I'm on the phone with someone else or if I'm in some other sort of meeting. Okay. And that's it, you guys. If you have any questions, I said, just let me know. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. Bye bye.